Good morning, good afternoon. I'm honored to be here with you folks, and we're honored to be hosting you here with our brothers and sisters of the Shxwha band next to us. This village that you're in today is known as Shxwha. Shxwha is a very ancient village. 200 years ago, before the Indian Act, Shxwha was here. 1,000 years ago, Shxwha was here. There was people living here in this village, my ancestors. Shxwha meant a place where they built canoes, because this land that you're on here used to be an island, and there was huge cedar trees throughout the reserve. And it was where people used to come from all over the valley to build their canoes. The reason you see this big beautiful canoe behind us, it's one of the three sisters, and we built 3 of them because we realized that in order to be a people going forward into the future, we need to remember who we are. We need to remember where we come from. We need to recognize our roots. We built 3 of these canoes to honor our grandfathers and grandmothers, Shxwha, people of the past, to carry that on. In our village, we planted 3,000 red cedar last year, 1,800 Douglas fir. We're clearing out the cottonwood, and we're going to plant about 5,000 more. It's because we want to be remembered as we once were. Our place where cedar grew, we must honor that, and so we're building to remember that. My sister Bonnie is here with me. I'm the chief of the Shxwha village, a humble servant of the people, and my sister Bonnie is councilwoman. And we've been trying to support the work of Mr. Gardner and all of you folks, and we're doing our little part today by inviting you into our village and preparing a meal and working in concert with our neighbors. When the salmon are gone, so will we too disappear. This water behind us, my sister and I, and my older sister, we grew up right here, and when we were kids we used to swim in this. We used to swim in this. And now I'm scared to put my toe in there. In just my short lifetime, we've seen this water go from clear to that. And it disturbs us. We know that we need to do something. We haven't fished for a coho in 30 years. 30 years we have not fished for a coho. And the Department of Fisheries and Oceans has had us on a complete lockdown of being able to fish for a coho because they need to let them escape and spawn. And the truth of the matter is we can never fish them again, and they will never come back. It doesn't matter. This waterway was their habitat. If we don't clean it up, and we're working together with a lot of brilliant people today to clean up this slough, to make it have water flow and make it habitable again for the coho. We know that the only way we're ever going to bring those coho back is to repair their living environment, to clean it up, and we're working to do that. It's not just enough to say you can't fish them. You got to do something to make it better, and we're working to do that. This village was once an island, and the people of this village have always been fishermen. My dad was a fisherman, my grandfather was a fisherman. My sister here, you wouldn't know it today, but we used to be known as river rats. We used to have boats over here, and we'd go up and down the river all summer long fishing with my father. Our stories that we used to learn about who we are, we learned about out there when we were on the water. They used, in our language, they used to say kokoyam. They'd be telling the stories while we were working. It would be our histories, our values, our songs, our teachings, and everything is tied to the land. You cannot be a native person and truly make that statement if you're not tied to the land from which you came. I'll share with you something. Spirituality is what makes us Indian people who we are in our connection with the land. There is a connection between ourselves and the land. There's a connection between ourselves and the water. The songs that we sing, we draw from the environment. The powers and the spirits that we communicate with, that we carry within us to give us strength, come from the mountains, the land and the water. We walk to the water, we reach out, and we listen, and we hear, "Ee-oh-yo." very essence of who we are and what we are comes from nature, and the fish and the salmon, the birds and the trees. So we know if we don't protect that, we know if we don't preserve it, our connection to the spirit itself will cease to exist. And that's the scariest thought. We're very spiritual people here in the Shxwha village, the Shxwha village, the Chilliwack tribe, which we're part of, and we need to preserve and protect that. I want to recognize the work that you are all doing. Eddie Gardner, I said last year, and it is very important, it doesn't matter if you're Chinese, East Indian, Native American, we're all brothers and sisters of this little blue planet we call Earth. Together, we all must fight to protect it. The spirit is something that we all possess, not just us, so it's appropriate that we come together as a village to try to do the work that needs to be done. In this day and age, I recognize it's a very exciting time in the world, especially here in Canada. We have a new government, not only federally but provincially, and they both seem to be signaling a time to recognize the environment. Perhaps not as much as we'd like, but it's a start. It's showing that by coming together as brothers and sisters that we can make a change, and what you are all doing is in that vein. So we want to help you and support you and guide you. The Shxwha village wants to support you. I want to share with you, just after welcoming you here, a quick song, and I'm going to ask my brother for his drum. This is a prayer song. And not only is it a prayer song, but it is a song that no one taught me. No one said, sing this. It comes from the Spirit itself. When I was a little boy, right here in this property, before the trees were cut down and the water ran clean and the eagles flew high, we grew up here. We grew up here in a house with no electricity, believe it or not, in this short time that I've seen. And in those days, I remember hearing this song. The song that I'm going to sing to you comes from here. The song that I'm going to share with you is representative of a spirit that lives in this place. And it said to me when I was a child, this is the spirit that's here for you. It's going to give you strength. And when you need to pray, you pray to me this way. Chicha Siam, the man upstairs. So I'm going to share it with you because I want to pray for your journey north. I want to pray for your journey upriver. I'm asking the Spirit to give you all strength and guidance. And where did my sister Bonnie go? Yay! Ha-ha-ya! A prayer song.